Welcome back, families and fans of the world. My name is Mario, and we are back today in our lovely Fanboy corner in a very pretty dress code for this special occasion because we are officially starting our ARIRANG era on the channel with my theories, expectations, and just a small talk regarding the album that's coming next week. Not only the album, but the comeback of the century, guys. It's true, like it's happening. BTS is back. I'm gonna experience my first OT7 comeback. I'm gonna experience the biggest comeback BTS has ever had. The world is gonna turn around like 300 times because this is going to be crazy. 40 minutes of my ears being blessed. Like you don't know how much expectations I have for this album, and I know they're not gonna disappoint me. Like BTS, it's the artist that I trust the most with their music taste and talent and creations alongside Taylor. Like, I know they're never gonna disappoint me. And that's why we are here today to chat a little bit about my expectations, some theories, what can we expect now that we have the track list, we have kind of a little bit more of information because don't let them gaslight you with thousands of Netflix trailers. We don't know anything about the album, but we can speculate, and that's what we're gonna be doing today. All right, armies. I hope that you are happy. I hope that you are gonna join me on this journey because not only all the YouTube content, but we will also have the comeback live and the documental reaction. Well, the live is not going to be the first reaction, but a rewatch on Patreon. And I'm thinking I have having a lot of ideas, and I have to know how they're gonna fit, but I hope that you are happy with the content that I'm gonna give you. Before we start, as always, you're starting to like my content, and if you enjoy my company, don't forget to hit the subscribe button so that you don't miss anything that I will put out on the future, especially during this next month. No, guys, I'm just gonna press play next week and I'm gonna cry. And I don't think the first song is a song to cry, but I will do it anyway. So we're gonna start first with the concept of the album. After the promotions regarding the What Is Your Love song, which is still haunting me in my head, I have a pretty consistent idea regarding the overall theme of the album. So as you know, Arterang, even though it taps on the culture of Korea and that historic song, at the end of the day, it's a love song for the country. And they have done a lot of promotion regarding love songs. That's why I'm thinking that probably this album will be kind of a love song collection of songs, but in very different aspects, like not romantic love, because I think there's still going to be a lot of inner thoughts and reflection of them on the fandom and how is society nowadays. And I think that naming it Arirang is the perfect title song that includes the theme of a love song, but also rendition to their country and their roots, and that ties up really well with the comeback live they will be doing on the 21st. We had that poll on Spotify where we had to vote for our favorite type of song of love. So I think all those types of love can be included somehow on the track list. You know, self-love, fandom love, family love, love to your country, to your roots, to the world, like all those kind of loves. And at the same time, I feel like they can talk about it in a very different way than they used to do it because it's not only been a long time since their last album, but they've also been on a very specific years in someone's life where you really grow up and become an adult. You go from your 20s to your 30s or late 20s, and I think that's a big step. Also, taking into consideration that they were on the military service and they grew up as individual artists, I think they can tap into this concept in a really mature way. And we're gonna be loving the songwriting on this album. But at the same time, I feel like it's gonna be done in a way that appeals to everyone. It won't be simple, but it won't be niche, if that makes sense. By the way, I have to say that the Scavengers game was really, really cool. I'm still doing it. I mean, we still have next week for the last ingredient title of the songs, and I think that those kind of stuffs are really cool. I mean, so far we've seen that the promotions have been really different to what we're used to, and I'm loving that. And I feel like that is also so telling about this album and the things it's going to contain and what it's going to be talking about. Then the cover of the album, I'm still so confused. I don't know what to think because I have different theories. First of all, we saw that the cover on their website is kind of gray and blurred, but you can see them dressed with suits. That's why I'm wearing this. And I saw on the internet that this photo could resemble the seven men who ran from their hometowns. I don't know if the 19th century or something like this. I just don't know exactly the date. But those guys were the ones who recorded ARIRANG, and they were seated in a similar position in a photo. I'm gonna put it here than the possible photo for the guys on the cover. So maybe that is the cover, but honestly, I'm not sure because it's only a week away, and we still have the same cover, like the black with red symbol that Jungkook designed it, which I also think that if he did it, it was really intentional. So maybe it is the cover of the album, and also all the promotion has been done in this kind of red white aesthetic, the track list, and also the concert stuff. So I'm not sure. And also, I saw a theory on the internet which makes a lot of sense. I have it here. The name of this possible cover is called the Chilseok legend, Chilseok legend. So this legend, like summarized, represents two lovers that could only meet one day of the year, and it was the seventh day of the seventh month, seven. That also gives sense to this theory. And they were able to see each other because of a bridge. I don't know exact details, but it seems that some armies saw that the possible album cover was this bridge created with birds, and that it could represent how BTS and ARMY have been separated for so long, and now they can finally meet again. And it's really poetic if you think about the seventh day of the seventh month, even though it's not the day of the release, but BTS has always surrounded with the number seven. So if that's the case, I really recommend you to read more about this story because I didn't want like to explain it in so much detail because I have a lot of things to talk about. But it would be really, really beautiful if that's the case. But I don't know, maybe it's just the cover that we have on Spotify. But what really throws me off is that we don't have the covers on the physical albums that are being sold on Weavers and stuff. So I don't know. We will have to wait until the 20th to discover that. We're gonna go through the track list a little bit and see what we can grasp because it's really, really hard to understand these boys' minds. Everyone that has been working on the album has said that it's the craziest thing they work on, that they're crazy talented. We already know that. But I feel like they have reached a peak of creativity after all these years without doing an album altogether, and now having their own personas very defined. That's why I think it was so important, and that's why what they said on the 2022 Trauma Fest dinner that when they announced that they were going to be doing solo projects for a while and like the hiatus and stuff. I think that really helped them. So I don't know, like they could surprise us with everything, and we could be wrong about everything. But luckily, we have here some descriptions that were on the internet for the I don't know who exactly released that, but I think this is true. It's not fan made or anything. So these are like the definitions of each track. We're gonna be reading them and see what we can grasp. Body to body, like first of all, what is this title? Honestly, I'm scared that they're gonna be naughty BTS. Now they're mature, they don't give a fuck about anything, and honestly, if they go, I mean, I feel like they're not even gonna. They said that the other day. They're not gonna have a concept as strong as other times in terms of their hair and the clothes they're wearing and stuff. I feel like they only need themselves because they are fine men on their 30s, and I feel like they're gonna use their sexiness and they're gonna be bolder than before. I mean, we've seen Jungkook and Hope especially with their solos. So Body to Body as a first track is honestly curious, but it says it's a vibrant track that declares their promise to have fun together with the audience during concerts. So I feel like this could be the case, and I feel like it's going to be a great opener. It's going to have a lot of energy, this kind of mic drop vibe, not the lyrics but the production. But I think they can also use possible innuendos, sexual innuendos, to make it more fun and have this duality on the meaning, but of course these descriptions are true, so maybe it's going to be about also like coming back to the stages and stuff, and it could be a really great opener for the concert, so we will have to see. And I feel like regarding that love concept, it could be tapping into love for their craft, for the concerts, for coming back, being on stage, for army, for themselves. It could be like that. And this has a really big potential to be a single, honestly, and have a choreo. Like, I'm just like, I can already imagine one of the hardest choreos of the album, honestly. Then we have Hooligan. So it says, captures the spirit of the time that they have spent traveling across the world and carving out new paths. I thought it was with an S, but being singular, I think it could be really reflect on their own individual paths, and they each one of them could sing their own perspectives, just like they did in Mass City with their own cities and like their places. But being called hooligan makes me think that it could show us how extremely passionate for music they are, and maybe how that has been something criticized for by themselves or for other people, like they're workaholics and stuff, or even talking also about army, that we are so passionate that we get a lot of hate for being that energetic fandom and protecting BTS so much, because hooligans are this kind of crazy fans. So I don't know, but I could see this song talking about that, like love for music and how much they love doing what they did alone, and how they love doing what they're doing now even more as a group. We have Aliens, which says convey their dreams and aspirations for the world. I could see these having a similar theme as hooligans, but going more into a description of who they are, and how sometimes they can be looked as strange people, also because of how their path was done, like how they came from nothing to everything. And I can see more of a self-love theme on this song. I can also see this song being so strong and also a potential single. I don't know. I just the name, it's really intriguing to me. I think this is going to be a fan favorite, definitely. Then this one's really interesting, honestly. FYA, which says highlights the thrill and anticipation surrounding their comeback. And honestly, I just don't even know what to think. I've seen that this could mean for your attention. It could be saying like, thank you so much for your attention, maybe in a positive way to ARMY, or maybe kind of even a diss track way, like everyone is paying attention to us, whether they love us or hate us. We are on the eye of the storm, if that makes sense, and that's why it says surrounding their comeback. But it could also mean for you army, as in a love song for us, or maybe fuck you all and really be like a diss track, honestly, more rap based. I think we're gonna talk about subunits afterwards, but I think that there's going to be rap and vocal subunits, and maybe this one could be a rap one. I don't know, guys, it's really hard to predict. 2.0, a lot of spoilers by these men, honestly. We clowned so hard and they gave us hints and hints, and we did not catch a single one. Reflects the current state of the 7 members as they step into a new chapter of their journey. So I think this could be the conclusion of Hooligan, maybe like they are connected. And this one is like who they are now, what they're gonna be doing, how they have evolved now they are adults, what is their vision for the future and for this project. I think it's going to be a self-identity song. I could see this song being more like a ballad, more melodic, and maybe it's the first time we get kind of a more chill vibe, because I feel like the first four ones could be really strong. Then we've got number 29, portrays the experience of enduring the repetitive cycles of life. This is going to be an interlude. It's really short, so I feel like it's going to be musical, and it could have this, as they say, repetitive cycles. It could have the same melody all over again, and maybe getting stronger and stronger, kind of maybe a little bit of anxiety. And I've seen that the merch that has been released today, well, announced today, has this inspiration of a bell that is the 29th National Treasure of Korea. It's called the Sacred Bell. Alright, so maybe the sound of this bell somehow put into this song, and it grows on this ARIRANG theme of the album. It could be an ode to the country, love for their country, for their roots. Maybe, I don't know. And well, we are thinking it's going to be instrumental, but maybe it could have some lyrics. I don't know. We really don't have information about this song. Swim. This one is the only one that's only written. No, there was another one that's only written by Namjoon. I'm not sure, but this one was only written for Namjoon. I'm so glad that the guys have writing credits on the track list. I understand that Jin could not do it because he was on tour, but he was also doing his role, being with us, entertaining us, and taking care of us. I appreciate that so much about him, and I'm glad that the guys are involved as always. Of course, Rap Line, of course, Namjoon, but also Jungkook, Tae, and Jimin. And the fact that this song is only by Namjoon makes me think that it's going to be really beautiful on the message. Here it says the title track Swim is an upbeat alternative pop song about moving forward through the ways of life without stopping. Instead of resisting the current, it expresses their determination to calmly progress at their own pace through the message of love for life. So I feel like this one could, as they've said, is the love theme is going to be love for life and love for the process, trust the process. It could be like staying strong, finding your own way, and understanding that sometimes you can just not go against everything. You need to flow with life, just like swim, which like the metaphor is perfect to me. And there's a lyric on take two that says we swim forever. And that song was taken as into take two, the second chapter. Well, I know this is the third chapter as a whole, but as a group, is the second one. So I love that connection, and it's going to be really hopeful. I feel like it's going to be a beautiful bob. Like it's going to be upbeat, and at the end of the day, it's the title track, so it has to have this kind of commercial part into it, and a bit alternative pop does sound like a catchy song, but it's going to be really meaningful, and I love that for a title track. I don't know. I'm feeling so hopeful about this song. Merry-Go-Round, guys, I lost my mind with this name because ABBA, which is my favorite band ever, has a song called like that. And I loved when my favorite groups and artists are intertwined by title tracks and names. I loved when Blackpink had Jam, and also BTS has that name, and the same with Stay, Forever Young Young Forever. I love when that happens, honestly. So this one says shares a story about facing and overcoming life recurring pattern. I think it's going to be have maybe a kind of an anxiety to it, like to being stuck on something, on repetitive cycles and toxic cycles, and learning how to break of them. Maybe it doesn't have a specific name like self-love or family love and stuff, but it's also a way of showing love to yourself, to being strong and growing. It does make sense in that theme. Then we have normal with capital letters, which is really interesting. It's the only capital letters besides the title track. Maybe that could mean it's going to be another single, but I'm not sure. It says, explores the emotions they experience both on stage and behind the scenes. I feel like this one could be like either they are still just normal people after all and they are just themselves, or maybe like we've accepted our lives are not normal. We are not normal people in that sense, and we adjusted to that type of life on what we experience both on the stage and behind, and how that has shaped them as people. Maybe this could be also a really heavy song, maybe coming back after a few more. Well, Swim is going to be upbeat, but that doesn't mean it has to be hard. Maybe some more mellow songs, and this one could be a strong one. And then we come for Like Animals, and like honestly, that's what I was saying. What are these guys doing? I'm scared. I'm scared for my life. I feel like Animals. Here it says conveys a strong desire to live boldly and passionately. I think it could have this general theme for love in life and passion for everything, but it could have a sexual metaphor that makes the song funnier and more interesting, or maybe it's just directly into that because this description is a little bit vague. So I don't know honestly what to expect. I'm scared. But this is going to be like, I think it's going to be really hard. I bit this song too, and depending on the concept, I honestly gonna die. Like it could be the physical love one. Like it's still kind of a love song, right? But in another different way. They don't know about us. Expresses the confidence that in the end we are simply us. I think this could be also a song that taps in love for the members and themselves and the group, and that they are always being true to themselves and who they are, and they are genuine people. But it could be that, and be a melodic song, more ballad. Or the bout makes me think like that abbreviation makes me think that it could be a rap diss track, like what do you know even about us? Like stop talking shit. I'm pretty convinced it's going to be a diss track because honestly, these guys are always put through hell, and I want the haters to be called out, honestly. Then, number 12, this seems like Maroon 5 songs. One More Night sings about wanting to hold into a blissful and unforgettable moment just a little longer. This one could be the most romantic orientated love song. It doesn't have to be necessarily sexual, it could have that, but I think it's going to be a romantic, beautiful ballad, and it could be more vocal oriented and just coming before please. Please says it's filled with sincere emotions that want to stay together no matter the circumstances. I think it could be about that too, but this one is more vague. It could be more with them, like staying always together, which is something they're gonna be tapping into for sure in one of the songs. It could be stay always with Army, but it could be as for a partner too, and these two songs be kind of connected. Please sounds like a very yearning song. So I don't know, I'm really, really curious because, of course, if it's a love album, it has to have this romantic, sexual, passionate side. And finally, this one really concerns me. Into the Sun, also all the sound clues they have given us during this last year. Like, we were blind, we just could not see. It says, closes the album with a heartfelt confession about running towards someone you cherish. This one is definitely for Army. This song is going to be the Duce, Wings, Spring Day Microcosmos, that anthem that we are bulletproof, the eternal song. This is going to make me cry so much. It's going to be so beautiful. And also, it's going to leave us clear what comes after running to the sun into beautiful things for the future now that they're back and nothing is gonna separate them. Like I'm not ready for this song. I'm so scared. It's gonna be so beautiful. And also I think Jimin and Ty have writing credits on this one, if I'm not wrong. Jimin for sure. But like just the fact that there's a lot of them into this song makes me think it's going to be crazy. So that was interesting. My God, 14 songs. I just can't even begin to process that, honestly. 14 new BTS songs. I think there's going to be at least 3 music videos. I'm rooting for, as I've said, like, of course, music videos for singles, probably. Body to Body and Aliens, I could see them being singles besides Swim. But I also think we could have more dance practice like choreos, of course, because there's going to be choreos for the concert, but I mean like actual proper recording of dance practice for at least 2 songs more. I think they're going to be doing a lot of things. I mean, they've missed us, we've missed them, and there's going to be a lot of content, so I'm pretty confident there's going to be at least 3 MVs and several dance performances. Then, regarding the line distributions, I'm hopeful that this album will have a more even line distributions. I'm a little bit worried about possible situations. First of all, I'm a little bit scared for Jin since he was with the tour. Maybe he did not have that much time to record as much as the other members, so maybe it's less present, but I hope he's not. The length of the songs, this is a really new thing on BTS because their length used to be around 4 minutes always. They were not really commercial in that sense, and they still did really, really incredibly perfectly well on the wall. But now we have a lot of songs under 3 minutes, which is really rare. The only song that was like that was not like an intro and all those stuff, it's Butter, which, don't get me wrong, I love Butter, but that makes me think also all the producers from the United States and stuff. It makes me think that maybe there's not that long raps, which was normally the part that made the songs more long. So maybe we'll have to get used to a new song structure, or maybe there will be songs that are more rap based, even if if it's an OT7 song, and then songs that are more focused on vocals. Maybe the rappers will do more vocals. We don't know, or maybe they will have raps. It's just going to be shorter, but it's really hard to imagine the structure of the songs. I think, of course, Jungkook is still gonna shine with the most lines. And honestly, the comment that the members did that Taeyong did an amazing job on this album makes me think that maybe he will be even more present than he was already before. But I'm not sure. For me, the best thing would be for the 7 of them to be equally present, but I know it's not gonna feel like one of them is absent, but you know what I mean. And then the subunits, as I've said, I could see rap and vocal subunits for sure, and I can see One More Night, or Merry-Go-Round, or maybe even 2.0 being the vocal, one of them the vocal subunit, and maybe FYA normal or They Don't Know About Us if it's a diss track for the rat line, one of those. Then maybe they give us 3 subunits, so that would be 3 subunits and rap and vocal line, and then 9 songs OT7, which is a lot. That would be fine to me. And honestly, I could see the subunits being coincidentally in age order, like Jin, Hobby, Yoongi, Namjoon, and Jimin, because I feel like Mini Moni have to have a song together. Like, please, like, just give it to us. And then, of course, Taeyoung and Jungkook. Like, it's one of the most wanted subunits, and there's a song which I think it's 2.0 that has running credits for both of them, so who knows. But I don't actually mind, in the sense that any subunit will be amazing and perfect. I just hope that they don't repeat. Like, for example, Fly to My Room was Yoongi, Hobby, Tai, and Jimin, so I prefer to not have a Hobby, Tai, Jimin subunit, because it will be really similar to Fly to My Room, for example. You know what I mean? But other than that, any of those subunits is going to be great. And maybe they don't do it because they want to be the 7 of them together. Who knows? Moving to the commercial performance, I mean, I don't have a lot to say about this because they're gonna blow the charts. Like, a lot of armies like me have joined the fandom during these last years. All the healthy solo stands, and I mean people that became armies through one of the members, or maybe even people who only follow one of them because they like their music and are curious to know how the new album of BTS is going to be, and they become armies because of that. I think it's going to be really loved by the general public, because I feel like they're gonna combine, as I've said, the length of the songs, the producers, the song camp, and everything makes me think that it's going to be pleasing for the people who are not army, but it's going to have their own identity. And I don't mean, I'm trying to say that it's going to be a perfect combination of things like The Most Beautiful One in Life, Wings, and Love Yourself, with a flavor of more commercial songs like Dynamite and Butter put together with an extra potential better sound and lyrics of their experience as solo artists, and how much they have evolved and they're trying to do a new thing. So all that together makes the best album possible. So and also with the live and Netflix and stuff, I feel like a lot of people are gonna join the fandom. So it's gonna blow the charts, and I'm ready to see everyone crying saying that BTS is not organic. Sorry, but we are not the biggest fandom. I mean, I'm part of the 2 biggest fandoms in the world, Army and Swifties, and I know how these things go. I know, like, people try to hate on the fact that this is not organic, but I know it is. Like, maybe I don't like when people only stream the songs on loop without actually appreciating the music just because of the numbers. But I do know that just with a single stream for everyone that's going to listen to the album is going to absolutely blow the charts already. So, I mean, there's not a lot to say. Just have to wait and see how they conquer the world once again. All the things they're doing are very new, and I feel like they're cutting the attention of other people. Then promotions, they're gonna be super active. I think like they missed us a lot, and they know that we love seeing them. So we already had one interview. I feel like we're gonna have a lot of those kind of interviews. I feel like we're gonna experience a more mature side of them. They're gonna be taken more seriously, and we're gonna be able to have better insight on everything that went through during this year. We also have the documental that is a big promotion itself, and it's gonna be on Netflix. So great for the general public to watch it, probably after watching the live, because they're just curious, and the release of the album, the documental is going to be there, so it's going to be all like a loop that's going to make this even bigger. I feel like we're going to be getting constantly extra content about everything they do, and maybe just maybe we could have a new variety show. I would love a updated, more mature version that maybe they prefer to do of Run BTS. But if it's another one, like specifically for ARIRANG, I would be happy to. Like honestly, I just want to be with them. So anything that they really decide to give us is going to be welcome. This has not been the typical rollout. We don't have concept photos, we don't have highlight medley and stuff. And I'm not complaining. I'm honestly so excited to see them doing just their own thing without a formula. I feel like next week we're going to get a lot of surprises. Of course, probably we're going to have a teaser for the MV. But I don't know, I'm expecting things that cannot be thought because we have not seen them yet. And regarding the live, I feel like if I recall the performance, it's 1 hour. They're not gonna sing the whole album. I feel like they're gonna sing the more energetic songs probably, and then they're gonna also sing classics. For example, Idol, Boy with Love, Dynamite. I could see Microcosmos. They have used it for the promotion, so maybe, or Spring Day, or Blood, Sweat and Tears. But mostly energetic and majestic kind of performative songs. Like for example, Imagine Dionysus or On or Run BTS or Black Swan. Like oh shit! Like no. I can't even talk about the concert yet, guys. The concert, they're gonna be there for the longest time ever, 3 hours on the stage. They're gonna for sure play all the songs of the new album or almost all of them. I don't know if they're gonna have solos. I mean, I would love them to have solos, but at the same time, I feel like they maybe should focus on the OT7 content since we have already had 3 solo concerts and the other members will probably do one in the future. And at the end of the day, 7 solos almost takes perfectly 40 minutes. I'm really curious to know what they're gonna do. Also because if they have a really big concept for the concert, maybe it's hard to include the solos, but at the same time I feel like they need to rest so they could use the other members performance to rest. I don't know, will it be like an eras tour? Will it have chapters of the set of the different eras, or will it be like an Arirang concept with all the Korean culture things that you could imagine and maybe put in some hits every now and then? I don't know. I honestly don't know. To close this video, some of my expectations, personal expectations, I've already mentioned the subunits that I would love to see. I'm expecting to be addicted to this album because it's gonna have this pop catchiness to it, but I think it's going to be very unique on its sound. Like BTS has a formula that it's not repeated in any other artist in the world. So I feel like it's gonna blow me away and it could potentially be my favorite album, honestly. More than expectations like I want this or I want the other thing. I only expecting this to be amazing and loving it so much because I trust them with my life, as I've said. It's not like I need something specific to love the album, And I feel like for the future, of course, they're gonna extend the tour. It's going to be a long tour until 2027. I could see them maybe releasing some new music at the end of the tour and then do an encore, or maybe in the middle of the tour. I don't think they will be releasing that much music that often as they used to do before, because they were on a rush back on those times. Now they're grown adults and I feel like they're wiser. But I could see some new music on 2027 and then end the tour and then stay together as a group and still doing promos and activities and stuff, but also taking time for them to release more solos and having one of them do a solo tour, not all at the same time, because I think it's not good for them and for ARMY and for the group. But I just love that Yoongi said the other day that they still have a lot of things to do in the world because we're just going to be by their side for 10, 20, 30 years. We still don't know that. And honestly, there's a thousand of possibilities, but for now, let's just focus on Arirang, on the tour. It's going to be a long tour. I think they're gonna take us on the trip with them with a lot of blogs and lives. But as I was saying, in a new angle, because now they are grown adults. Like, you know what I'm trying to say. It's really hard to put it into words, but the atmosphere and the vibe feels different. Not saying words. Honestly, I feel like it's gonna be better. And since I was not there for the other tours, this is completely new to me. I don't know if I have anything left to say. Now I feel like maybe it could be your turn. You could, if you have make it until the end of the video, you could let me know what are your theories, what are your expectations, what would you love to see on both the album, the live, the documental, the concert, What content would you like me to do? How would you like me to do it? And I don't know, guys, what songs are you claiming? Did I say which songs I'm claiming? I don't know if I said that. Well, if I didn't, I'm gonna say it now. Body to the Body, Aliens, Swim, and Into the Sun. Those are the songs that I'm claiming. Oh my god, 40 minutes, guys. I'm so sorry I talk so much. Anyway, I hope you enjoy my analysis and my theories. As I said, let me know everything you would like to say on the comments, and get ready because next week we have the album and this is gonna be crazy, guys. Like, oh, my friend and I cannot grasp the thought that we're gonna press play and we're gonna hear one of their voices. Who's gonna start the album? I feel like it's going to be Jungkook or Namjoon, right? It should be Namjoon. I don't know. I don't know. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for staying until the end, for listening to me, and we will see each other soon to keep fanboying and fangirling. Adios!